During a military briefing, Brigadier General Richard Neal also revealed Iraqi tanks and rocket launchers opened fire on U.S. forces early today, but a senior U.S. Defense Department official says it would take a major incident such as a Scud firing before the ceasefire would be called off.
There are reports that 2 British airmen held as prisoners of war were mistreated by the Iraqis. An Iraqi doctor who is now a POW held by the Allies has told Sky News the pilots were badly beaten after their capture.
As hostages. This was the scene of one of the biggest battles of the war, by coincidence at the same desert pass where British forces were successfully deployed against a threatened invasion of Kuwait by Iraq nearly 30 years ago. Now British troops are back. This time, though, to clear the wreckage and debris of the Iraqi convoy trying to get out of Kuwait. The Royal Engineers assigned to unblock the main road so the army convoys can get through to resupply British and other troops at the front line. A difficult and dangerous task with so many unexploded shells, rockets and grenades littered around, as dramatically illustrated when a fully armed Soviet-built T-55 tank caught fire.
It's one of the problems we found when we first got down to the carnage on the route here this morning, was that there was a lot of munitions lying around. And obviously, as you can see from the tank ammunition cooking off behind me in the tank, is that was one of the problems of the job. Not only was it just the ammunition, but there's also been a lot of fuel spillage on the road, not just from the vehicles themselves, but there's also been a number of tankers that were shot up on this road during the ambush on Tuesday evening.
But the exploding bullets and shells did not deter the Royal Engineers. They rapidly ensured the road to Iraq is open again, in case the ceasefire breaks down. Christopher Morris, Sky News.
Is his highest priority. We're committed to seeing every American soldier and every allied POW home soon. Thanks and respect that will have a information.
The Chief of Staff Johnson says it's possible some U.S. troops could leave the Gulf as early as next weekend. That announcement may come one day when President Bush speaks to a joint session of Congress. At the same time, U.S. Defense Secretary Cheney says the Pentagon could call up additional reservists to replace troops who've been on duty a long time. And he says the U.S. will leave behind enough tanks and other weapons to equip a division as part of an expanded U.S. security role.
If I were to speculate, it would be that would be different presence in the Persian Gulf. We've been there for 40 years. Aircraft carriers will run away with bases, that sort of thing. They will check something. I would expect the best air presence.
The White House is anxious that history not repeat itself.
It's really vigilant, absolutely sure. You know, it's never allowed to stuff the ashes of the of aggression. The sacrifice you want is nothing less.
The Bush administration is hoping that Iraqis themselves, especially the troops, may get rid of Saddam Hussein as the extent of their defeat becomes apparent.
Civil war. Soviet television reported that all roads into the disputed region are blocked, except the Soviet armoured columns that continue to pour in.
But when the coalition attacked, the battle was no contest. It was a classic, absolutely classic military breaching of a very, very tough minefield of barbed wire, fire trenches, top there. To the first barrier like it was war. U.S. officials suggest an Arab peacekeeping forces was to be now in Kuwait. But the U.S. has had a naval presence in the Persian Gulf for 40 years. It will remain beefed up. If U.S. troops dispatched quickly and massively attack will begin to come home.
Here, nobody.
How can that be, that a building like that gets blown up and there's no one killed?
That's luck, you know.
Whether they know it or not, this is what Mona and Rhonda are coming home to. A couple of months ago, the Syrians opened up this green line, as it was called, that used to divide Beirut into an east and a west. And now, for the first time in 15 years, You can actually drive along here if you're silly enough to want to. Everybody you've ever heard of has tried out their artillery here. This mindless destruction is the result. Incredible as it might seem, though, people are actually living up